welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about internships and how to excel and do well. This is Abby.
This is Isabella. A reminder, listeners, you can listen to us live on the air. Phone number is 407-582. I know, I'm laughing. 2906. You can also chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook live chat.
All right, coming up this episode of the Intern Whisperer Live, we have end of the semester, looking for internships. Sign up with Intern Pursuit or contact Isabella at isabella@internpursuit.tech. And hashtag what I learned. Our guest, Sara Cano, international student from Colombia. Welcome.
All right. Well, this is actually, we're missing a few things that I just noticed that I had on the previous show notes. So I'm just going to go back up one. So Intern Pursuit is going to be at the Pizza Palooza this Saturday from noon until 4. It is all the biggest pizza, this is for real, the biggest pizza festival ever in the world. They're going for the Ripley's Believe It or Not, or whatever that book is, the Guinness Book of Records, that's what it is. And they want to have 1,500 or more people fed with pizzas. So all of these different pizza vendors are coming in. This isn't in the show notes, so I don't know. You're looking for something that's not there. It's in the head. So anyway, this is where Intern Pursuit will be there, and I'm going to be there. And if you want to sign up, you want to come and meet us, we're going to have a little bit of some games going on and our coloring pages from the books going up. So now it's like, how can people find us on our social feed, right, Abby?
Yes.
I am so glad to have you back here with me.
Oh,
I have missed you these last 2 episodes. Oh, my gosh. So, Intern Pursuit, you can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and YouTube. And you can find Intern Pursuit, the game, on Facebook and Twitter. And again, you can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio and follow the Intern Whisperer. We are also on 5 podcast channels: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. So people can listen to us there, and you can watch us on Facebook Live. Go to Intern Pursuit, and the phone number again is 407-582-2906, and you can chat with us online through Facebook's live chat.
All right, it is time for our first patron of the night, RB Advisory. RB Advisory offers cybersecurity services to businesses worldwide. They are security specialists for cloud computer network and compliance issues. RB Advisory addresses active threats to organizations, patching network vulnerabilities, and preventing future attacks to your business and information. Their website is rbadvisoryllc.com. Thank you, RB Advisory, for being a patron of the Intern Whisperer.
Okay, so this is where I see I put the Pizza Palooza information. I put it down here, just so you know. So people can come again. It's on Church Street, downtown Orlando, from noon until 4. All of the pizza that you can possibly imagine will be there. And it's being hosted by Grand Openings. They are one of the startup companies out of Starter Studio. And Grazie. So if you're looking for a job as a server, you want to come and sign up with Grazie. Another startup from Class 10. So they're my friends, and we will be there also, Intern Pursuit. So they invited us to the event. We are inviting students and employers to sign up as early adopter members at the event. And if you want to join our startup team and be part of the Intern Pursuit influencer team or brand ambassadors, go to internpursuit.tech/careers, and you can look at the job descriptions. And we invite employers of all types and sizes to be a part of our early adopter beta program. There's only 2 more spots. Early adopter employers will be accepted to participate, and you can contact me, Isabella, at internpursuit.tech for more information. Okay, you're up, Abby.
All right, well, our guest tonight is Sara Cano. Welcome, Sara. Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about being here and sharing my experience with you. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course.
And a special shout out for our new guest, also Carter. Okay.
Thank you. Hi. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So he's a drop-in one for today. So this is pretty cool. Sara was planned. And Sara's family is going to be listening to the show. They've been liking our Facebook page.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, so we should have they'll enjoy the show when they get to hear it.
Yeah,
All right, so go ahead and dig in.
Let's start easy. Sarah, what degree are you pursuing in college or university when you return to Colombia?
So actually, I've been studying international business during 5 semesters. So when I go back to my home country, I will do another 3 semesters, and then I'll get my bachelor's degree in international business.
That's impressive.
You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can actually go to my Facebook Live.
Okay.
Just for the fun on the intern pursuit page. So we'll just see, because maybe I can do Facebook Live through here. I just thought about that one. I've got to find it. Anyway, keep going. Hey, Carter, go and throw the next question down.
Okay, cool. So how is college different in Colombia from the United States?
Well, we have to start by the fact that we don't have college in Colombia. So we have high school and then university. We don't have that in between, or
Okay.
that place where you can go and do like your general subjects before going to the university. So university is pretty much like college. It's normally 5 years long, depending on your major. Some of them are 4, and medicine is a little bit longer,
Right.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also very challenging, and you get to choose your subjects, but they have certain limits. You can't get less than 3. You can take less than 3 subjects per semester. But I've noticed that here in the U.S., colleges or universities have a lot more events going on and activities and clubs and organizations. You always see something going on. Unfortunately, back home, we don't have that much clubs, organizations, or places where students can get that involved. So that's actually one of my goals when I go back home, kind of teach them or create new clubs so that people can be involved in campus and improve their leadership skills.
I have a question. Why is it that, because that's interesting, that's what Diana was saying too, that people just like go to school and then that's it.
Exactly.
But why is it that there's not a lot of engagement or activities for college students? Do you have any idea?
Well, I don't know. I'll say maybe budget, because, like it's not cheap or it's not easy to sponsor a lot of clubs and organizations,
true.
right? So maybe it's budget, and also as it is pretty strict, especially public schools are really hard to handle. So maybe students just go and study, and then they don't have that much energy to go to clubs.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so why did you choose Valencia College for your study abroad opportunity?
Actually, I didn't choose Valencia. The U.S. Department of State, who is sponsoring me in this scholarship, chose for me. I just picked up my major, and then they placed me in Valencia College. But I'm glad they did, because I actually like a lot Valencia College.
So you have to apply to some program to be able to be selected to come to, in this case, Valencia. Are there other colleges, do you know, that you can select from, or is it like they're matching you up?
So the program already has certain number of colleges that they work with, or they work together. So the only one that they work with in Florida is Valencia College, but they have other colleges like in Arizona and Boston, Virginia, different cities, yes. And
Okay,
states.
now curious, is that how you ended up going to those cities, because they have the same program?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so we won't tell our listeners all of that just yet. Yeah. We'll hold on to that one. But
Okay.
now you kind of help connect the dots for me, and I understand why the trips are planned. Okay, that's pretty cool. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Next question is exactly that.
Okay. Perfectly
What
timed.
places that you went to during the Valencia program?
Well, the first time I traveled outside Orlando was Miami. I went just 2 days with my friends from the same program, from the Community College Initiative program.
Right.
Then I went to Atlanta as a delegate for Model United Nations. I was representing Albania, and we were awarded as honorable delegation there. So
Wait,
it
you're
was pretty cool.
representing Albania,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not Colombia.
No, I mean when you
I'm
do
confused.
when you do Model United Nations, they give you certain country to represent. It's not like you choose your country, your own
Okay.
country. They give you one. Then you research about that country, and then you go there and you talk about different topics. So in my case, I was a delegate for Albania in natural resources and natural disasters prevention
Yes. Yeah.
and reliefs. Yeah. So I was talking about what Albania is going through. They have a lot of floods and
Yeah.
problems with natural disasters. So we had to go there and negotiate or discuss with other delegates about how all the different countries can work together and solve the problem. So that's pretty much it.
So that's even more interesting because, and I'm going to jump in. Maybe that's going to be your question too, but I'll let this one be mine, and then I'll give you guys a turn. So, do they have adults that are part of the delegate system so that they're guiding you through this process? I would think that you have to have somebody that knows how it's really done in the United Nations to be able to mirror some kind of an impact.
So Valencia College has the Model United Nations Club. So I joined the club and we met every week and we kind of learned how it works. And once we were there, they have the council, the chairs, the directors of the model, and they guide us through the committees, and they give us certain workshops about the rules, the procedures. Yeah.
Okay, now you guys can ask questions because, like, I have more.
But actually, sorry. So, I mean, I was mentioning the cities I visited. So, Atlanta, then I went to Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. Then in January, the U.S. Department of State took us to Arizona to be in a Pathways to Success program. So we received skill shops and we went to the Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, and we did a lot of activities to improve our leadership skills and our action planning. And then in winter break, I visited Boston, Washington, and New York. And
Go Harvard and MIT.
Traveling.
yeah, I love traveling. That's why.
Yeah. How many places can you see in 1 year being in a program?
Seriously.
Yeah, like have you been to all those states? Been to a lot of them, but not all of them. Okay, you had a question.
Oh, I was just curious about the United Nations thing. Like, is it official? Like, is it something where people in power in other countries are listening, or is it more like a mock trial thing?
Yeah, it's more like a mock.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like we're actually doing something for the country, but it's a way to learn how it works so that we can be leaders and we can have certain voice in our countries about the issues. And then when we hear or we see that the delegates of our countries are really meeting, we kind of have an idea of what they're doing and how maybe we can impact their decisions. So it's pretty much like a leadership approach.
It's a leadership program
Right,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I get
so
that.
So that we can learn how to be diplomatic and things like that.
That's really interesting. And think how hard it has to be to learn about another country, and be able to be that advocate for it.
I don't even feel I know enough about my country, let
Yeah.
alone another country, so that's impressive.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So guided conversations. That's amazing. I'm very impressed with that. Okay, you're perfect for that because I know that that's something that you would be. When I say I know, I've only known you for a short time, but I absolutely see you going into that kind of a path. I could see you being like way up there and being some kind of a, not a politician, but an advocate, somebody that's there to change a lot of policies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. What's up?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't have my phone notes open, so.
All right, Carter, you want to go ahead and ask the next question?
Yeah, sure. So, what degree or certificate will you receive?
So
From Valencia.
Yeah, from,
yeah,
from the
yeah, I
program.
get it. So I'm pursuing 3 technical certificates in business management. One of them is entrepreneurship. The other one is international business specialist. And then the other one is business specialist.
So one of the companies that she got matched to is a cybersecurity company, and she's been working with one of our patrons, RB Advisory, and so that's pretty fun because she's getting to experience entrepreneurship, cybersecurity, which is a global issue for sure. I would think among all countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then this is a woman-owned company also. I don't think you ever got to meet Regine. But you had phone conversations. It's really Mitchell. We're going to be having a call. I'm going to have a meeting with her next week. Okay. Yeah. So more coming here. But they love what you and Helmi have been doing.
Oh,
and nobody knows tell our listeners what you've been learning in your internship with RB Advisory.
So I'm a marketing intern. So basically I plan the content posts and strategy. So we create content to post on social media, especially LinkedIn. So we create a file every week where we post our ideas or our projects that we think we should post during that week. And we basically break it down in topics. So, for example, on Wednesday we have Wisdom Wednesday, and we share pro tips like change your password every 6 months at least, or back up your data, things like that, like people can feel related or identified with. And we've been sharing it all this month, and we've received really good reactions to what we're doing. And I've learned a lot actually, because my knowledge in marketing is not, I didn't have that hand-on experience with marketing. All I knew was the theory I had in class, right? But when it comes to the real life and working for a real company, I've learned a lot about headlines and how to manage hashtags, thanks to Isabella that told me a lot about it. And thanks to my internship with RB Advisory, I've been able to improve my leadership skills, communication skills, which I think is really important. And teamwork is also vital in what we're doing.
So one of the things that I had taught Helmi, and just so you guys know, Helmi, who's going to be on the show next week, and Sarah, is they had to prepare articles that were going to be posted on the blog page. Then they created posts that would be used on the social channels. They had to create the headlines, a hashtag formula. We talked about how to do that because that's how you use those hashtags to pull your audience in. They learned to create buyer personas so they would know who they are supposed to be targeting and how those hashtags relate to those particular audience. And then they had to create an image or use royalty-free images, put it all together, let the client go and approve it all, and then it got loaded into the social feed. So it was a process, and that's what they've been working on this whole time, and then it's measuring the results. That's something that I'm going to be talking with Mitchell about. We're supposed to have a call tomorrow, and then putting it together in a report so that you can see the results, the fruit of all of that. But it definitely has increased engagement. You've seen that. So that's what she's been learning. That's more of an inbound marketing method because you post either articles or ebooks or white papers, anything like that that would encourage your people out there that want to know more about the topic that you're posting and be able to learn more and then contact that company to be able to get more information and hopefully hire us. So I know that it works and that increases the SEO. I've had 2 people contact me this week based on business plans, the things that we use here in our hashtags, and they said that's how they also found me too, is based on using a really good hashtag formula. It helps boost the company's website up there and people can find you. So if I get this business plan, it would be writing one in Osceola County for land development, which is like millions of dollars. So that would be a pretty cool thing. I haven't done that yet before, so I'd like to do it.
Interesting. You were talking about some skills that you picked up working with RB Advisory. How do you think these will benefit you moving forward in your career?
So my main goal is to become a CEO and be the president of a company and later on have my own company. So learning about marketing, time management, also improving my communication skills, I think is really important when doing that role.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So as a CEO, of course, I have to know how to communicate my company culture with all the stakeholders, how to get their attention, how to maintain and retain my employees and things like that. So I think communication is key in that career.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, it's always about communication. Everything.
It sure is. Isabella, you want to go ahead and...
All right, so let me see, where are we?
We are
Okay. What advice would you give a student that's seeking an internship? Whether it's here in the United States or in Colombia. Maybe it's the same. I don't know.
It's not exactly the same, but I'll give some general tips. So I think it's really important to seek for help in career centers or people that can really provide you feedback when doing your resume or your CV, and knowing yourself and being honest with what you know and you don't know. So please don't lie in your resumes, please don't lie in your CVs, be honest, and be prepared for the interviews, and be advised that whatever you say in your resume, the company is going to test you in the skills you said you have. So I recommend students to be honest with themselves, build a really good resume and CV, because that's the first impression you give to employers. And also, in my case, while being an international student with a student visa here in the U.S., it's not easy to get an internship with huge or, large companies, because they require either citizenship or other type of visa, and it's really hard, and it's a really long process. So I'd say if you're an international student with a student visa, try to look for small businesses, and that way you can learn a lot, because you work pretty close to the CEOs of the business, and they have all the experience about startups and how they started the company. So I think that's really beneficial for a student to have that experience in knowing how to start a new company. In my case, that's one of my goals. So I'll say look for small businesses. Don't focus just on the famous companies. And I'll say be very motivated, and patient with the process. It's not easy to get an internship. It doesn't take minutes, it takes days and weeks. And I think LinkedIn is a really good tool. It helped me a lot.
So
as
the
well.
resume, don't you think it needs to match what's on LinkedIn?
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That would be a really good tip too. Use a real picture of yourself on there. Build
a
up your
professional
skills.
picture.
Yes, a professional looking picture. It could be something taken on your phone, but you just don't want it to be like
A selfie at the beach.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, not the picture you want to have on LinkedIn. But those are really good tips. Really good tips. Now, how would an internship be different in your country versus here in the United States?
I think my perspective of internships here in the US is different, because I did it basically with the guidance of my program, so it had certain differences. So here I got the opportunity to do 2 internships. In Colombia, when you're doing your internship at the university, you just can do it once in your entire life.
Wow, that's
Yes.
harsh. Oh my God.
Just one, and that's it. You can do more.
That means
just
wow.
one.
Yeah.
Well, you mean for 4 credit, right?
Yes, and I mean, if you have a contract, you can't have more than one internship contract, or we call it learning contract.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have more than one.
Like in general, like even if it's not accredited.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated. So let's say you do your internship while you're doing, let's say, your technical certificates. Then when you're in the university, it's gonna be a little bit hard to get the internship because you already had one while doing your technical certificates. So you will have to work to have a different kind of contract and like kind of negotiate with the internship center and see how you can figure it out and receive some credits from
If it's
it.
a different position, does like a different title, then that's what makes it different?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a different position, if you already had an internship, to be able to receive credits for a different one is gonna be pretty difficult.
And that's really tough because now what I've experienced is that students are taking 2, 3, sometimes 4 internships, and they do that because they want to experience different things. They come in first, they go, I have no idea what to experience in an internship, and they try that out. But then they begin to get a little bit more focused. What I would suggest is that you really need to understand yourself. Where does your energy come from? And I've said this before. I know Abby's heard me say this. Do you get your energy from people, or is it from sitting, at the computer and processing things internally in your head? You need to know what you are super passionate about because, what you two, it's film, right? And you really enjoy that, and games for you also, Carter. So when you're really passionate about that, you have to see what industries can you take that one thing that you really love. In her case, international business, she can take that to anything. It would apply to the medical industry. It would apply to legal. It would apply to anything she wants to go to. But if you try to take gaming into that space of like a law firm or put it into hospitality, you have to think, how is that game going to be different? It's going to have to be a serious game. It's going to be a learning game. It's not necessarily an entertainment game.
Right.
But the thing that you've done is with films is the same thing. You can create videos that are focused around learning, and when you do that, you can go into any industry you want.
Yeah,
because there's always training.
Make your, art or whatever generic enough to kind of fill in any spot it needs to, or specialize in something that you could profit off of.
Yeah, and if you focus it so that there's a business purpose for it, then it makes sense because now our trends make sense to the employer or to the market that you're trying to get into. You look at what games are now, they're creating like virtual reality and augmented reality and being able to use that as a way to train employees faster. So that now you're going to make a good decision. Yes, I want to go into the legal field. Yes, I love being in front of, a judge and going and arguing cases. Not everybody likes that. Some people will choose, no, I want to be in probate, where it's just like, a 9-to-5 job. And if you don't love law, then you don't want to pick that because you can lose your license if you mess up really bad and you get sued. Then you don't have it. So you have to think about a lot of factors and decide, do I like the people in there? Do I like the job itself? Do I like the culture that's around it? Do I like dressing the way that I have to dress for this profession? There's a lot to consider. So that's really, it's a horrible thing that you can't have more than one internship, I think, in your country. And I hope that this helps you. You haven't had an internship, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you got to experience some things.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can, I did not know that when she was telling me that. That's really interesting. Yeah.
So it's time for our second patron of the night.
All right, so we're going to play a little transition music.
We are.
Simplicity Solutions is our second patron of the night. Simplicity Solutions Group specializes in web design, development, hybrid mobile, and custom web apps built on proprietary application framework. They help businesses thrive in the digital age from web design to records management software. Their website is simplicitysolutionsgroup.com. Thank you, Simplicity Solutions Group, for being a patron of the Intern Whisperer Live.
Wonderfully said. Thank you, Simplicity Solutions Group.
Yeah, we love them. As a matter of fact, John Fairfull, one of the owners of the company, he's going to be a guest on our show. I think it's in 2 weeks.
Interesting indeed.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm going to let you do this question.
Moving on. All right. Who are one or maybe three great individuals, leaders, or mentors that you admire and have influenced your life or thinking?
Okay.
Why is that?
I'm pretty sure we know that there's going to be at least a family reference here.
Yeah.
There always
And
is.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a really, it's kind of tough because I have a lot of individuals that have influenced my life. So Isabel is one of them.
No, thank you.
She has taught me a lot during my internship, and I feel glad that I've had the opportunity to do my internship with women as my supervisors, because that's like really inspiring for me as I want to be a supervisor in the future. So that's really nice. And of course my parents. I mean, in my case, I was born when my mom was just 18 years old.
Wow.
And my dad was...
She was a child.
Yes.
Not really,
Both
but-
of them. So I've seen them thrive and struggle, and for them to be able to rise me up when being from low resources neighborhood or family, and they were really young, so they've had to work super hard to give me all I need. And that's like my best example of life and hardworking. And the last one is my aunt. She's called Marta. I hope she's gonna see this. She's amazing. She owns her own clothes store, and the clothes are not like basic clothes. They're like really nice brands and really nice clothes. She's been working. She first worked with that store. That store has been open for around 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. And she has owned it for, I guess, 10 years approximately. And she's great. I admire her so much. She's a really hard worker. She has her
So
store.
she's an entrepreneur.
Yes, she is. And she's been able to improve and get out of that poor conditions, let's say, that the family lived before. And so that's amazing.
Do your parents have, are they business owners also?
No, they work.
For other employers?
Yes, for
Yeah.
other employers, yeah.
Well, and what are your parents' names?
John is my dad, and Surley is my mom.
Okay, so a little shout out for the mom and dad. Do you have brothers or sisters?
No, I'm only child.
Oh, wow. No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. Okay, so that must have been really hard for your parents to have you gone for a year.
Yeah, especially for my mom. My dad is a little bit like cooler with it, but my mom is more attached to me, I'll say.
Yes.
I mean, she's my mom.
Moms are.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they carried you,
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be a lot more
So
protective.
she's like, oh my God. So as a matter of fact, I'm going back home in 14 days.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She goes at the end of this month. They all go home.
So my mom is like, oh my God, I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm looking forward to it. Like every day we talk about it and what we're gonna do when I go home.
There's going to be a party when you come home, right?
Yes, kind of. And I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat a lot. That's like the main goal.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a party. Maybe even a limousine picking you up
Oh,
at the
wow.
airport.
No,
One,
not
one
not
no.
like.
Okay,
But-
Uber Black or Uber, Lyft Black, whatever. Yeah, one of those things. That is really, really nice. So, what is because you shared that, but why would you say that your mom and dad? What were the characteristics, the values, whatever it is that they gave you that's really impacted your life?
Their honesty.
Ah,
So it's pretty unfortunate that due to the conditions people have in undeveloped countries. So most of not most of them, but some people that have been going through
Hard times.
hard times, they choose to steal, they choose to, do things that are not okay. But my parents have taught me to be honest and not to steal, not to do illegal things, and to be always, how can I say that, like a good citizen, a good person. So they taught me that it is better to eat eggs and rice, but you have in your mind that you got them with honest work, than eating caviar, but you know that you got it because you sold drugs or you stole from somebody. And that's like the biggest takeaway from them.
That's nice. That's nice. I really wanted to push that one a little bit more because, that's a good lesson. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And hard work is everything. I think that's the thing that you've always shared about your family too.
Yeah. Especially my mom.
Yeah, you have crazy respect. Carter, how about you?
Oh, my parents are incredible people. Like,
Are you an only child also?
no, I have
Okay.
I have an older sibling, but
Okay.
it's kind of nice because they're more like the test run, and then they perfect it on the second kid. So.
So it's a little bit easier on you.
Oh yeah. I definitely got it easier growing up, but my parents have I feel like they really did a good job parenting. I mean, they were strict, but they still let me live life and learn my own lessons too. They weren't super controlling, but they also cared a lot. And anytime I've ever had needs or whatever, they are right there trying to support me with whatever I want to do, and I really appreciate them.
All right. And what are your parents' names?
Robert and Michelle.
All right. So it's always nice to give, names to them so we know who they are. Very nice. Yeah. So we're doing a little kumbaya moment here for the parents to appreciate them. That's always a nice thing.
All right. So moving on, kind of a little
Yep.
different direction. What are the top 3 places to see in Colombia?
Okay. I'm looking forward to this. I've never been to Colombia. Have either of you guys traveled to Colombia?
No,
Nope.
I've never been.
No, but I hear the zip lining is amazing. So I'm putting that on the list, even if Sarah doesn't add it.
Okay, so actually it's pretty hard to answer that because
Okay, you can
the
give
country
more.
is
It's fine.
amazing. And it's not just because I'm from there. It's amazing. And every city has something to offer that is pretty good. So I'm going to start with my city, Medellin. I love it, to be honest. So if you go to Medellin, you can go to botanical gardens, you can go to museums. If you like to party hard, it's also a good place to do it. The food is really good. People in general in all Colombia is really warm and kind, and they welcome you so you feel appreciated. So Medellin is one of them. If you want to do the zip line, you can go to, there's a park in Medellin where you can do it. It's really nice, and it's for free getting to the park. And to get to the park, you take what we call Metro Cable, which is a public transportation, but it's it's in the air.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
with
like
cables.
a sky.
Yeah.
Like at
It's-
Disney World. You know
Yeah.
how you can travel across the... Yeah, I don't know what they're
So
called.
as Medellin is surrounded by mountains, so to use bus to get to that park, as it is on the
Gondolas?
top of the mountain, it's pretty hard to get there by bus. So they have the Metro Cable, and it's a really good experience. So also the capital, Bogota, they have the Monserrate Hill. It's a church, and you can walk up there. And I mean, if you're Catholic, it's it's one of the best churches we have in Colombia. And also in Bogota, you find it's a pretty dynamic city. You can also find really good food, and a lot of entertainment stuff going on, concerts, theme parks, and things like that.
Is it possible to drink the water from the tap? I know that I can't do that in some countries.
In Medellin, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
In Bogota, I think you can do it as well. But in the
More
like,
rural sections?
yeah, you can't. And also, unfortunately, in one of the most touristic places back home, San Andres Island, that island has a sea that is known as the Seven Color Sea. So it has like all different types of blue and green. It's pretty awesome. And it's cheap to go there. Cheaper to go there than Cartagena, which is like a really famous place in Colombia. Yeah, so definitely Cartagena and San Andres are really good places to visit, but you can't drink from the sink in those places.
Yeah,
you have to
bottled
buy
water.
always. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. So, when you're going to these places, do you? I really don't know. Do I have to have my passport with me constantly? Because one of the things when I went to the Dominican Republic, I was visiting there. I had to carry it with me everywhere. I don't know if it was just to make sure it didn't get stolen, but there were the police had machine guns, and they were on the streets, and that was normal in their country. And so I'm wondering if it's because they could have asked me if I had my passport and if people were smuggling also. So I didn't know. Is that like how it is in Colombia?
No, you can. I mean, you need it in case you're going to a nightclub or some places that have a certain limit on the age. You know, like you
You're
have
right.
to show your ID so that
What's
you can get
the
in.
driving age there and drinking age?
18.
18 for both?
Driving is 16
Okay.
and drinking is 18.
That's the same in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Pretty much everywhere.
In
But here
Latin
lets you drink.
America.
When
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be 18 here in the United States. They
Yes.
changed it
It
to
used
21.
to
Yeah. I don't think it changes much. I mean, they're still doing it. If you're going to college, it's still happening.
Yeah, but not, publicly.
Exactly. Not in the bars, not with the regular legal IDs, that's for sure. Yeah. So what do you think are the best foods to eat over there? You know that I told you I love arepes. Yeah.
So besides arepas, bandeja paisa is just amazing. And it's so big that I think 3 people can eat from it.
But you'll have to tell us what that is. We have
So-
no idea.
It's beans, like so.
Black beans, red?
I'm already sold.
I'm not sure how to call it here. I think it's red beans. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's and it has rice, eggs, avocado, sausages,
He's
pulled
happy.
meat, pulled beef, chicharron, which is pork. Like it's similar to bacon, but it's like thicker.
It's like pork rinds. Pretty much.
Yeah. So like it has a lot of things there. A lot plantains, arepas.
This
It
is
has-
all in one
yeah,
dish?
all of it in one dish. Yes,
Oh
that's
my
what I'm
gosh.
saying. Like
Every
3
Mexican
people can eat from.
ingredient, or I guess.
Colombian.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's like Latin? Would that be like the best general term? Like,
Do you
Yes.
is Central and South America all considered Latin? Is that how we should refer to it in the United States?
Yes.
Yeah. And that
Latin
includes
America.
Mexico,
Yeah, Latin
Puerto
is
Rico, and Cuban.
I think the only place that it doesn't apply to is Brazil, I think. 'Cause I feel Latin is because it's a Spanish-speaking country.
Yeah,
Brazil
but
isn't.
I
They
think.
speak Portuguese, yeah.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we also
could-
consider them like Latin. Yeah.
it might
I've
be just
heard,
I think
yeah.
Spain is not considered.
No,
No,
Spain
that's
is not.
Hispanic.
It's,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Spain.
Yeah. And well, besides bandeja paisa, we have sancocho.
I know what that
I
is.
don't know. Okay, so what is it?
So it's a soup and it has potatoes, cassava, meat, plantains as well, rice, and it's pretty nice.
It's like a
And-
huge stew,
Mhm.
essentially, and it's really. I don't eat soup, but I do like a good sancocho.
So it sounds like it's stew. So it's hearty. It's thick. It's not
Mhm.
like.
It's better than stew. It's sancocho. It's really good. you should have it.
Yeah, it's
All right.
really good.
Well, they're having an international event before they leave, and I've been invited to go. So I had asked, okay, is it going to be like a potluck and everybody's going to bring something? So that's what I was promised, and I'm hoping that I'll get to try a lot of these different foods because next week it's Helmi. He's from Indonesia. Diana's from Indonesia. She's from Colombia. Aziz is from Tunisia, and then there is Benjamin, who's from Cape Town, from the Ivory Coast. So I expect to try a lot of different type of foods. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, there's 5 different countries. Well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4 different countries represented that I get to work with, but they're also working with some of the clients. So it's really nice, yeah. All right. Well, I know we're coming to the end of our show, right?
Yep,
We sure
it's
enough
about
are.
that
So
time.
there we go.
All right. So.
Oh, we're supposed to have transition music. I moved some stuff around on you.
Yes.
All right.
All right. We'd like to thank Valencia Community College East Campus, our station manager, Q. We love you, Q. Thank you for everything you do. You're awesome. Our state-of-the-art social broadcasting studio. We have a great atmosphere, knowledgeable staff, fantastic environment to produce in, and we also have some pretty easy equipment that we can learn how to use.
Yeah, today was one of those days.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So shout outs. All right, Abby, you go first.
As always, I would just like to give a quick shout out to all my friends and family, everyone that tuned in to the show or is about to tune in.
We love your aunt and your mom that listen to it.
My grandma and
Yeah.
my mom, the biggest fans that
Yeah.
I have on the show. And also a big shout out to you, Sarah, and you, Carter. Thank you for being
Thank
on the
you.
show with us
Yes.
today. It's been very pleasant. Isabella.
All right. So my shout out goes, of course, to our guests. Thank you for being here today. For you, I'm so glad that you're back. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you're back. I really, really am.
Back.
Yes. To Q, also, thank you, Q, for helping us so much. Especially when it was just me, without any co-producers with me on the show. And then to the software team, to the game team, to Katrina, and to those that are going to be cycling out. But there's going to be new people coming in, so stay tuned. All right, so let's go over here to you, Carter.
I guess my shout outs would just be, the normal list, parents, friends, whatever. Abby, for introducing me to this whole setup. I'm really excited to come back and do this more.
Okay, so he's saying yes. Okay, so now
we
our
go.
listeners know we have a new co-host coming in.
okay.
Confirmed on the air, so you're
I thought that was out of the okay, yeah.
Okay, well, we just put him on the spot, so maybe not. It's okay.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that was like agreed upon already. Like I'm
there's
ready.
a process, but yeah.
Oh, there's a process. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
I need to
actually
go through
where
my
we test
trials.
you. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So there's always an assessment to see if you're going to like doing this, and I don't assume that you're going to like doing it. So the offer was extended. It wasn't just an automatic. It was like you could have said no.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the choice.
Yeah. So welcome aboard. We're excited.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So Sarah, we saved you for last, so you can go and give lots of shout outs because I know you have lots of friends and family.
Yeah, so, first of all, my parents, John, Surley, los amo mucho. So I'm going to speak Spanish for a little bit so that they can understand what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Muchas saludes a mis padres, como ya lo dije, los amo muchísimo, muchas gracias por el apoyo, por todo el amor que siempre me dan. Gracias a mis tías, no digo el nombre porque son muchas, so me demoraría todo el programa. A mis tías, a mis primos, a todos mis amigos que me han apoyado tanto en todo este proceso. Y a Neus también saludos. Y a todos mis amigos y familiares que los quiero mucho.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, that was nice. You acknowledged quite a few people there. All of your friends, yes, and your family there. Very nice. All right. So anyway, thank you again to all of our listeners for listening and tuning in to our show. Be sure to come back next week. We'll have some additional new people coming on. And we, as always, want to say thank you to our listeners. Take us out, Abby.